Right, going to take you through a short presentation. Something that we're very aware of at Hampshire Chamber is that a very good way of raising your profile is by entering and succeeding at business awards. So what we want this evening to do in a very short period of time is just to give you the best option to succeed if you're going to put entries through. We have a whole wealth of award schemes across the county that I'll be talking about in a moment. I'm going to look at what's the point of entry, which awards to enter, what to consider, what not to include, which is just as important, the awards ceremonies themselves, and maximising the benefits to your business afterwards. We basically want your businesses to succeed. There's some great businesses out there, and we have a whole range of awards. The ones that are open at the moment are for anyone who's based in the Winchester area. We have the Winchester Business Excellence Awards, and we have some entry forms here this evening. The Chamber Awards, for those of you who are members, will open very soon in March, and then later in the year we have Test Valley, Inspire, South Coast, etc. So plenty to choose from. So why am I standing here talking to you? Basically, I have been a Business Awards judge for about the last 10 years, and I've been involved in the Portsmouth Business Excellence Awards, the South Coast Awards, Chamber Awards, and I judge and mentor for the local Business Accelerator scheme. And one of the most frustrating things to me is knowing that there's a really good business there and they haven't put down anything about what they need to on the entry form. So great business, but not doing themselves justice when they enter the awards. Right. Can I start by asking how many of you in the room have actually entered for awards in the last few years? Anybody? A couple there? I know Nick has. How did you get on? Anyone successful? Anyone wondering why they bothered? Yeah, well done.
Inspire Awards.
Excellent. That's good. So there's a lot of you here in the room who haven't, maybe for very good reasons, but it might be because you don't know what to expect. So I'd like to take you through a few things tonight which might make you consider putting your businesses forward in the future. A lot of our award schemes in Hampshire are actually linked to the media. So the schemes run by NewsQuest in conjunction with the Basingstoke Gazette, the Breeze radio station, etc. are a brilliant profile for your business. Whether you win or whether you're shortlisted, you do get a lot of coverage, so very good reason to look at entering. Another good reason is staff morale. Everybody loves to work for a successful company, and there's a real buzz and a real boost to morale amongst your teams if your company's shortlisted and seen to be successful and recognised. I also can highlight areas for improvement. I actually go out on judging visits, and quite a few of the companies I judge, they said actually looking at the criteria for the award they've entered has made them think about their business and what they could actually do to improve and implement some processes. And it also gives you credibility with your customers and your suppliers. Nothing better than being able to put a shortlisted award logo or a winner's logo on your website, on your literature, on your adverts, etc. So all good reasons to look at entering. So how do you decide which ones to enter? Geographical split for a start. Each award scheme applies to a different area, so do have a look at where you're based and what's open to you, but I can guarantee wherever you are in Hampshire there will be something that you can look at. Some awards are based on sectors, so you may find within your own industry that there are specific awards. So the PR industry, for example, you'll find have your own category awards to look at. I'd also say have a look at the categories and select the best three. There is nothing worse than entering every single category and not putting the effort in. And as awards judges, by the time you've read about the same company for the 8th time, you really do lose the will to live. So I'd say it's about quality, not quantity, and look at what suits your business the best and where do you stand out. And look at what the benefits are. As I say, schemes linked to the media are great for profile, but some of the schemes have cash awards attached to them as well. So it's about where best to make that effort and where to put your time into for the best return for your business. So moving on to the entry form. I'd say some awards say that you can self-complete or you can nominate a business. Unfortunately, the only person who knows everything that's needed to be known about your business is you. So I would say, regardless of whether one of your customers or one of your suppliers says they've nominated you, do get that entry put in yourself, because only you will be able to give enough information. Check the criteria and eligibility. You'll be amazed how many entries we get for Small Business of the Year, which says maximum 25 employees from companies employing 50. It's a waste of your time, it's a waste of the judges' time, so do have a look and make sure that you qualify first. Look at how many, for example, if they're talking about Team of the Year, it may be for a team of a minimum of 4, so just check that what you're entering is what the judges are actually looking for. Word count and attachments. Quite often entry forms will say in no more than 2,000 words. That means use 1,999 because you can guarantee your competition will. So if you only use 200, you're actually losing 80% of the marks before you've even started. So use the maximum that's available to you. Multiple entries. As I say, nothing wrong with entering 2 or 3, but do tailor each award to its category. Don't just put the same award entry in for each and assume it will be good enough, because every category the judges are looking for something slightly different and a different emphasis. Make sure there's sufficient information. Team of the Year. I've just judged for an award scheme. We had, I think, 11 entries for Team of the Year. 4 of them didn't even tell me who was in the team. So it sounds really obvious, but do think about it, because it is quite a straightforward one that's so easy to miss. Profitability. A lot of Business of the Year, Small Business of the Year, it says growth in profitability and turnover. Have a guess how many people don't provide those figures. Must be at least 50% of those who enter. So again, all the marks for profitability are lost. And judges award for each element. So a typical judging form will be broken down and it will award 5-10 marks for different elements. So it's no point writing 1,800 words on element 1 and about 10 on the other 4. So do get your entries balanced and look at everything that the judges are looking for. Next one is providing all necessary information. If they ask for accounts, do make sure you include them. Testimonials and literature and contact points. If the judges need something, want to talk to you, they do need to know who to contact. And the other thing I would say is, if you're entering the same category for a second year, nothing wrong with that, but you will need to have done something quite special in that year. And there are 3 very important words in a lot of awards, and that is whatever of the year. So it needs to be relevant to that awards year that's being judged against. So nothing wrong. If you've done something really brilliant in customer service, it's different to what you've done the year before, absolutely great. But if all you're putting in is exactly the same as what was in the previous year, it won't actually go through. Next steps, need to think about presentations and judges' visits. A lot of the awards scheme, if you're shortlisted, they will phone you up and say, can we come and have a judge's visit with you? They're often asked you to do a presentation. So I would say, just a tip, check what they're asking for. If they're asking for a 10-minute presentation, keep it to 10 minutes, because what they like to do is actually go around, talk to your staff, talk to you, and just dig a bit more into your business. And another really good tip on that is brief your team. Make sure they know the judges are coming to visit, they know you've entered, because there's nothing worse than one of your team members dropping you in it. So just make sure the whole team's on board and know what you're doing. Right, what not to include? Having spent my Christmas holiday judging 107 awards, reams of paper and lengthy booklets. We don't have time to read them, so no point. CDs. I do not have time to sit there and put 107 CDs into my laptop. So everything that you're telling the judges needs to be on that entry form. Don't put in false information, it is checked. And I would say irrelevant points as well. Don't let the really good points get hidden by general text. So to keep really to the point and actually really make sure that your good points stand out from that entry form. You'd be amazed again the number of people who say phone so-and-so for a testimonial. Again, I have not got time to phone 107 times 3 testimonials. So do make sure if you're getting testimonials from people, you actually put them in with the entry. And don't include free samples. You'll be amazed what happens to your reward entries. They get shoved into boxes, thrown around in backs of people's cars, often free samples, they burst, they get all untidy, all creased up. So keep your free samples. If you want to show the judges, keep them for the judges' visits, so they're actually in the condition you'd like them to be shown in. Okay. So just moving on to the awards ceremony. If you're entering an awards scheme, it is expected that you will turn up to the awards ceremony if you're shortlisted. So do make sure that you know the date and keep that free in your diaries. If you're entering a team category, take the team. It's all about the team, so make sure that they're there to celebrate any success. Don't expect to win. It's absolutely brilliant when you do, and I love the reaction of businesses that win, but don't expect it, and then you won't be disappointed. But if you do win, do expect to be photographed, and it's a really good means of using for your PR, your press releases afterwards. Know who will be collecting the award. Quite often the announcer will say, we want a representative from the company, so have a think about it beforehand and know that if it's only one of you or two of you that can go up, who that's going to be. And if you win, please do respect those who come after you, and actually keep the celebrations to a minimum, because otherwise, after 3 or 4 awards being awarded, the poor people who are getting the awards in 6th, 7th, 8th place, no one can hear anything about them. So do have a little bit of consideration for the people around you as well. Right, last one, maximising the benefits. Don't forget to issue a press release if you win or if you come runner-up, etc. It's newsworthy, the papers, the radio stations are interested. If you're a chamber member, send us something in for our magazine. It's all great profile raising. A lot of you will be given a certificate, not just for winning. Quite often you get a certificate if you're a runner-up or shortlisted candidate, so do publicly display that. And if given a logo, add it to your website. It's a great commendation for people to see. Social media, love it or hate it, it is something that is there to stay, and you'll find that all the award organisers now will be tweeting about their winners and shortlisted candidates on the evening. So have someone on standby, if not at the event, someone at home or someone at your company, to actually retweet anything that links to you, because it is really good profile, and especially when the keynote speakers or the sponsors start tweeting about you, it's a really good way of building your followers. So do think about that as well. Tell your staff and customers, be proud about it, shout about it. We hear enough bad news, so any good news, get it out there and tell everybody. And if on the other side you're not successful, don't be frightened to ask the judges for feedback. Find out what went wrong. May not have been anything wrong, it may be that there was just an exceptional other competitor in that category. But it may be something that you can improve on if you enter in the following year, so it's always good to ask for feedback. So that's pretty much all I want to say apart from good luck. We have a section on the Hampshire Chamber website now under Business Support Member Services. There's a page called Business Awards. It's got hyperlinks through to all of the main award schemes in the county, so you can click through and see what's available to you. We've also got feedback forms here tonight, so if any of you want to express an interest so that you get reminded when various schemes are coming up, just fill that in before you leave, and then we'll make sure you're aware of all the deadlines and entry dates. And we also have entry forms for the Winchester Awards. So I am now going to hand over to somebody who certainly got it right last year, and I'd like to welcome Nick from the Natural Travel Collection. Nick's company was successful both at the Winchester Business Awards and the South Coast Business Awards last year. I have the honour of judging them, so I'm delighted to share the stage tonight with Nick, who will give you a company perspective of what they've gained from doing it.
Thanks very much. Thank you very much. I was asked to put a presentation together to talk to you about how the award process and how winning the award has helped us as a business. So first of all, I just thought I'd introduce you to the Natural Travel Collection and who we are. We're predominantly a wildlife tour operator. We deal with tailor-made holidays that go all over the world. We're based in Winchester. We run 3 travel brands now, one called Wildlife Worldwide, which, as the name would suggest, deals specifically with wildlife holidays. one called Dive Worldwide, which deals with exotic diving holidays all over the world. And between those two brands, we visit somewhere in the region of 110 countries, well over 500 different locations. And in October last year, an opportunity presented itself to buy another travel company called The Travelling Naturalist, which has got nothing to do with taking your clothes off. It's a small company based in Dorchester who have a really good connection with Wildlife Worldwide in particular, where Wildlife Worldwide is dealing with tailor-made holidays, so developing trips specifically according to the requirements and the expectations of customers. The Travelling Naturalist is more about group-based holidays, so preset departures on preset prices. So there's a really good connection with what we were wanting to do with growing the business, so we decided to take the opportunity and purchase that. So that all happened last October. As I say, a portfolio of trips to well over 110 different destinations, tailor-made and group tour itineraries. The size of the company, there's 3 directors. There's myself, a chap called Chris, who started Wildlife Worldwide, and Teresa, who started Dive Worldwide, and we've got about 20 staff or so, part-time and full-time. So in terms of the awards that we've won, we first entered the Winchester Business Excellence Awards in 2013. We just entered one category there for online excellence, which we're very proud to have won. And then last year we entered Best Use of Technology and the Small Business Award, and we won both of those as well. So don't be afraid, as Maureen said, of entering more than one category. Just bespoke your application according to the requirements and the needs of that particular category. We also entered the South Coast Business Awards as well last year, and we repeated the wins that we got at Winchester. We won the Technology Award and the Small Business of the Year Award as well. We were, bowled over. We were really, really proud of that. So in terms of how those awards have helped us, I thought I would talk about things in 2 stages. First of all, the application process, and then secondly, the effect that having won the awards had on us. So focusing on the application, as Maureen has alluded, is really, really important, and much of what I'll be saying will be actually endorsing what Maureen has already said. The thing that struck us immediately, Chris, Teresa and I, immediately with when we first entered the award in 2013 for the Winchester Excellence Award, it allowed the 3 of us to really step back from the day-to-day running of the business, and every business is different, and the 3 of us are very hands-on with the way that our company is run. It really allowed us to sort of step back from the coalface a little bit and analyse the future, look at future-proofing the business. It allowed us to look at the plans that we had for the business and analyse, well, how well had we achieved those goals that we had set ourselves. It provided a very natural and a very convenient way for us to reassess the success of the business, and that was really, really important to us. It allowed us to plan for the future. It allowed us to look at the successes that we had had and to build upon those successes as well. And that was really, really important to us, because without doing that, I think we would have just carried on blindly, with our heads down, doing the thing that we're doing every single day. You can, step into the trap of just, looking at a spreadsheet and looking at numbers and looking at graphs going up and down, without actually looking at, well, why are they going up and why are they going down, and really trying to, as I say, to future-proof the business. So going through that particular process was really important for us. It allowed us to identify our strengths. It allowed us to see where we'd been successful, and importantly to realise that we had achieved certain things, which is all good. It's all, that's all very positive. The big leap for us was it allowed us to identify the problems that we've been facing. When we were looking at dips in sales, when we were looking at why particular destinations weren't selling, we were able to actually spend some proper time and analysis looking back at all of the means that we have to look at the trends of our business, to look at why things weren't happening. And one particular thing that came out with our analysis of sales was actually our website. we realised that there was a huge amount, an overwhelming majority of people who were inquiring about holidays through our website, more so than those who were telephoning us. So in 2013, we spent an awful lot of time rebuilding our websites, redesigning our websites to make them much more user-friendly, much more powerful, and that has seen, again, another surge in business directly through our website, and we've been able to build upon servicing those inquiries as well. So that was a real weakness that we had. We looked at all of the competitors as well. It's very good for competitor analysis. They themselves have very sophisticated websites, and now, having gone through that process and invested in that, we have got a website certainly that stands shoulder to shoulder with all of the other big travel companies, and it's allowed us to build on taking some customers away from them. So it's very good for that. Prioritising solutions as well. You can find loads and loads of problems, lots and lots of weaknesses within your own business, and don't be afraid of challenging yourself and saying, we've got weaknesses and problems with our business, because it allows you to prioritise the solutions that you need to find. And as we did in 2013, we absolutely identified that the website was a big problem for us. It was a big weakness for us, and we wanted to make that our top priority, and that has worked. It's worked very, very well. Going through the application process, if you're selected and you get shortlisted, I would say that's really when the benefits then start to really kick in from an external point of view. You get a lot of advice. There's a lot of recommendations that come through. When Maureen assessed us last year for the South Coast Business Awards, she said, why aren't we working with UKTI, UK Trade and Investment? Something that we hadn't even thought of. We didn't know what opportunities were available there. From that particular conversation, we got in touch with UKTI. We've had a couple of meetings with them. We've now been able to source a little bit of funding to help us go out to some of the destinations that we work with, to support us in trying to find new suppliers in those destinations. So there's free advice to be had just from going through the process, and recommendations that we have from that process as well have also really helped us. One of the judges for the Winchester Award that we won last year manages an HR recruitment company, and we were going through a little phase of having to do some additional recruitment, and we've got some very good recommendations from her about where and how to find the best possible staff for the business as well, all of which was free. Well, it's just a time investment to get to that point. But going through the application process serves as a very good point, if you like, of reference for you to look at your entire business, not perhaps in the usual day-to-day way that you would normally do it, but actually in a way of looking 5 years ahead, 10 years ahead, and deciding where you want the business to go and how far it has come. It's a very good thing to go through. In terms of the award effect, what's happened since we've won the awards, without a doubt, staff morale is really important, and everybody in the business is delighted at having won the awards. We're particularly proud of them, and it's odd because you can, I talk to friends all over the UK, and they may be slightly disparaging of, a small local business award. What does winning the Winchester Bid Award actually really mean? Well, actually, it means an awful lot to us. We're a company. We're based in the heart of Winchester, and knowing that we are the Small Business of the Year for 2014 is really important to us. It really does mean an awful lot, just from the staff morale point of view. Promotion, marketing, PR, you can't really buy that sort of PR. We had spreads in the local newspaper, in the Daily Echo, and also in the Chronicle as well. In terms of marketing, we've got a big poster on up outside our window saying Small Business of the Year for Winchester. That in turn has brought off the street business to us. Customers who come out of the Chesil Rectory multi-storey car park, hundreds of them every day at rush hour. We get people coming into the office specifically because of that particular poster that we put up. The promotion that we've had, being able to tweet it, being able to go onto Facebook, being able to go onto your website, the e-newses that go out when we won, all of that really serves as a very powerful marketing tool in a way that other traditional PR and other traditional advertising can't. You're not selling something, you're telling people about something that you've achieved. It instills client confidence without a doubt, and for us that's really important. Travel industry is extremely competitive. You know, you Google wildlife holidays to Africa and you'll have hits galore. But knowing that our customers know that we've been assessed by knowledgeable business professionals, industry professionals, and we've achieved that award on our own merit, it does instill client confidence. That, in turn, definitely brings on sales, without a doubt. As I said, new clients have come into our office just off the street, purely because we've got a poster on our windows that says we've won the Small Business of the Year award. The contacts that you get from going through the awards, the networking, all of the associates that you have, it opens up suddenly more and more doors. People want to be associated with your business. There's no doubt about it. And that starts really at the ceremony. At the South Coast Business Awards last year, I wouldn't say that people were throwing their business cards at us, but certainly people were making a point of coming to our table at the end of the evening and wanting to talk to us and set up meetings with us. And that's terrific. It's very hard to find the right kind of people to associate your business with. And if you've got a pool of people who are offering their services to you, it does really help. It makes part of that journey and part of that difficulty of finding new businesses to work with that little bit easier. The networking that you go through, we're going through the judging process. As I said, one of the judges runs an HR recruitment company. We've worked with that company since to endeavour to try and find new staff to come and join us as our business grows. And we know that those people take our business seriously. We know that those people know our business as well. And that's really, really helpful. So, is it worth it? I would say absolutely yes, without a doubt. Whether you win, whether you're shortlisted, or whether you're not shortlisted, it is absolutely worth it. Going through that application process, taking the time to analyse your business, perhaps in a way that you don't normally do that on a day-to-day level, is worth the exercise in itself. Has it helped us? Undoubtedly. It's focused us on the future, it's focused us on the short-term future as well as the long-term future. It's helped us to identify weaknesses, it's helped us to celebrate our successes within the business, but also, importantly, it's helped us grow, without a doubt. In terms of whether you should enter or not, I would just say go for it. The application process is different from one award to another, definitely. I've only entered those South Coast and the Winchester ones. But as I say, the process is really, really worthwhile. Do go through it, do pay attention to all of the criteria that the categories have. And as I say, win, lose, get shortlisted, whatever, you will benefit from going through that process in one way or another, because it's a real impetus for looking at your business and future-proofing it and celebrating your successes, as I say. So I hope that provides some kind of basis for why you should enter award and how it's helped us. If you've got any questions, then do please feel free to ask me. I've got to leave at about 6:30, family commitments. But otherwise, good luck, as Maureen says as well. Not too much, good luck, because I'll be entering them as well. Yeah, it would be nice to see you at the events anyway. So thank you.
A big thank you to Nick.